that I was created for a purpose. Secondly, bank has also, because it aligns with my personal values, and it has also helped me to abstain throughout campus. It's not easy to live a sexually pure life, but with bank, we joined and we were taken through sexuality, and we were told that humans have a choice. And so with the bank, I've kept myself, and I'm still holding on till I meet my future husband. So you can also be there, and you at campus, you're having challenges, you're having temptations. And I must tell you that tonight, or you are outside, because this workshop is actually it's amalgamation of those at campus and those in the working field. So you may be there and you feel like staying a sexual pure life is so hard in this generation. I must tell you that having to choose to join this workshop tonight, you're going to learn, and you will not regret having joined in. So that's all about bank, and I wish everyone a good evening.
Wow. Thank you so much, Alan. Such a wonderful testimony about bank and its impact on your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are most welcome, and you are on the right call. Even right about now, I know we have bank presidents online from different chapters and universities. So just before bank presidents come in, I'd like to actually ask one bank president to also shoot up their hand and have a word to say. One bank president that is ready. One bank president. Please shoot up your hand. One bank president from any chapter. Okay, I'll still pick on one bank president. We have Anxious Niwamanya. Yes, please open your mic. Open your mic. Please go for it. Could you say hello to the team? Yeah, like to hear from you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Brian. I'm so much happy to be here, and I just can take on the memory that we had yesterday before I can share. It was a very nice moment having you as you witnessed our handover.
Yes, in Kabale.
Yeah, and yes, and actually that interesting moment when we escorted you up to the bus, it was something that was surely so grateful for us. Yeah,
Thank
my
you
name
very
is
much.
Anxious, and yeah, so my name is Anxious Nwamanya, and I'm the IPP, immediate past president for Bang Kavale University. My experience in Bang is something that is so incredible. I'm still a training engineer, civil engineering, Kavale University. And I had Alan say she's a teacher. I'm actually also a teacher by passion. I started teaching in my vacation for senior six, and up now I'm still teaching. And actually now I was even at the school now. So I want to share my simple experience about Bang. Bang has been something like a role model itself for me. The first time to know about Bang was when I had its vision, raising a new generation of youth with values, morals, and character. And that vision drove me to a point that I realized how our families, how our mothers, our fathers, our sisters are all counting on us, how they are waiting to see the best in us. And then I couldn't wait to see myself living a life of values morals and character, and trying to see how I can grow as a very resourceful youth who nation. I have carried on that vision as a president for bank since last year and up to this time when I just handed over, but the vision still is with me, and I have lived a life which I think God is still guiding me. But I think I want to thank Bang so much for actually guiding me through the journey itself. The vision has been helping me carry on. Even whenever I would think of doing something evil, I would remember, so I'm the president of Bang. So how am I going to do this thing? Yet I'm telling people not to do it. And the other thing is that Bang as a mentorship club helps me get reminded of with the role of a mentor guiding you through the triumphs of life, and knowing the bad things, knowing how you can make it in life, guiding you. So Bang is like a mentor because we learn so many things from the different facilitators that we have. So we get to know how can we move on with life, how can we, make things work out, something like a mentor can do. So that is what Bang does. And then when we come to character, I came to know that character is something that actually makes you have an influence or have a following, have people to follow, because it defines the actual the actual worth that a person's soul has, just more than this real world money, because character shows truly what is the richness of a person's soul, what can attract people to you, how can people know about you. And then when it comes to the sessions about sexuality, understanding yourself, that is something that I thank Bang for, and I'm still carrying it on, and I can't keep on, spreading the message of Bang for what it has done for me, and I believe finally we shall be there. Thank you so much, Brian, and thank you so much for being there for us yesterday when we had a very wonderful session and a cake cutting session as we handed over. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome, President, immediate past President. Anxious. Yesterday I traveled to Kavali. The other day I traveled to Kavali. Such a wonderful time that I spent there with the very wonderful people there in Kavali. Amazing, wonderful testimony right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're just diving into our session even right now. And I'll be inviting the national coordinator for Bang, and that is Dr. Anita, who will be inviting the facilitators for tonight. But even just before she dives in, today we stand in a generation where we are asking ourselves, what is my purpose in life? How do relationships fit into my future? How do they fit into there? What am I going to explain to my feelings that are demanding day in and day out? What am I going to explain to them? And so tonight we are gathered here on this call, I'm very sure, to have even tough discussions. Members, I would like you to be very, very cooperative, even as we dive into this discussions. Ask those questions. Be very cooperative in the chat. There's a link that will be shared that is for registration. Please endeavor to click on the link and register. There's even a part where you have to ask some questions. In that link, ask. So even before the facilitators, or even before I invite the national coordinator, Madam Anita, so many questions are hanging and unanswered. What are these romantic relationships and how should they really look like? What are friendships? What are the networking? How best should we handle relationships? How big are relationships? Are they only in one sphere of life? There's so many critical things that we are asking about dating, and so many things that we are watching things going on. And even that said, we have noticed so many heartbreaks. Yesterday, I was talking with my friends from Kabale University. There are so many heartbreaks in the university today. We are experiencing so many things that sometimes would scare even some of our friends to have negative negative feelings or negative concepts about maybe relationships and purpose as well. So these things have brought so much stress and anxiety in balancing academic and personal goals and you know, and burning out even while here at campus. And so even right about now, friends, I'd like you to put your hands together as we welcome the national coordinator, Dr. Anita, to please invite our facilitators for tonight. Put your hands together. Come on, put your hands together. Let's welcome Dr. Anita to invite our facilitators. You're most welcome.
Right, Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Very, very clear.
Some phone calls that are interrupting. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you for coordinating this very well with Alan and the rest of the team of the bank presidents. We've keenly watched the mobilization happening, and I know it is still going on. Would just like to invite the people on call to just take a minute and reach out to your colleague. This is a topic that concerns many of us. Many of our colleagues are struggling because of relationships. And as it's said that our relationships either make us or break us. And so I want to align this with purpose and see how to have this conversation. It's going to be a very fruitful conversation. And so you want your friend to take of it. I'd like to recognize all the bank presidents that are on call. Of course, Alan, as she said, she's still reigning the bank president, the bank online mentorship series. And Alan, I want to thank you for taking lead on this. Thank you so much for taking lead on this, you and your team. We encourage you to, take up such initiatives and continue, rallying your colleagues behind them. Also want to thank, I see my colleague, Dr. Abel Walekwa, who is on call. Dr. Abel, thank you so much for joining us this evening from African Center of the African Center of Career. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm getting interrupting calls. Sorry about that. Dr. Abel, from all the way from African Center for Career Mentorship. Good to have you on call. I also saw the bank president, I think it was Jimmy Sekasi. They also joined us. Thank you, all the Bang alumni. I've seen also Semu representing the Bang alumni and other Bang alumni that are on call. Thank you so much for joining in. And without wasting much of the time, if you're in a university that has Bang and you're not a member, please sign up. There are bank presidents in Makerere, Kavale, Chambogo, and Jimmy Sekasi, then Kampala International University. I've seen Claire. Good to see you on call. The bank president is on call. If you're here and your university does not have a bank club, then please reach out to us so that we see how best we can establish it through your able leadership and influence at your university. That's how the bank clubs are established. Yes, our time is fast spent, and at this juncture, we'll be talking more about Bang. I think towards the end, what you need to know is that the next intake of the Bang Online Mentorship Program will take off on the 13th of January. Those are the dates for now, but we shall send out an application link so that you can start applying for the program. It will run for 6 weeks, and that will be in January 2025. Otherwise, for more communication, the flyer will be out, the application link will be out. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite our Papa and Mama, Elder Stephen Langa and Mama BeatriceLanga, who are going to share with us. And as they have always been generous with, just imparting this knowledge and sharing their experiences with us. And we continuously gauge from their generosity and knowledge and wisdom. Papa, you're welcome. Thank you so much for being with us here this evening. We are ready to hear from you.
Thank you very much, Anita, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you also the bank presidents for the messages you have shared and the testimonies. Thank you very much, other members who have said things, and for Brian for guiding us and leading us so well. We are truly, truly, truly grateful for this wonderful opportunity to be able to share with our precious, precious young people on this very, very important subject. Let me see if I can put something on my screen. Yes. All right. Yes, there we are talking about relationships versus purpose. First and foremost, I want to really bring apologies for my dear wife, Beatrice. Beatrice is not feeling very well today. And so we are going to miss her voice, but she's with us in spirit. And for those who don't know her, that is Beatrice. That particular picture was taken, brings lots of memories for us. We were in Makerere University during the time of the lockdown. And so I just, it brings lots of memories. That picture was taken when we were celebrating our 36th wedding anniversary. And I'm glad to report that this year in August, we actually were able to celebrate our 40th wedding anniversary. And we thank God for the bank team that was able to come to participate in the celebration. We were just really blown away by what bank did, the wonderful words that you said, the gift that you gave us. Really, we were so grateful. And just for the benefit of those who probably were not able to make it, we want to report that after we had the celebration in August, our married fellowship, that is the fellowship of married people, about 10 couples that meet in the location where we reside, was so gracious to us that they gave us a 9-day fully paid honeymoon holiday for our 40th wedding anniversary in Bangkok. They paid for everything. They paid the air ticket, they paid the accommodation. We're in a 5-star hotel. 5-star hotel is the top of the range. They paid for the visa, and then they gave us even pocket money. I mean, we were so grateful. We rested, we took it easy. We had a wonderful time, just as two lovebirds in Bangkok, just the two of us for 9 days. And for that, we want to let you wonderful people know that it is possible to prepare for and get into a relationship that can actually lead into a happy and successful marriage. Okay, it is possible. Today we have this thinking, among young people that marriage doesn't work. Marriage is very difficult. Marriage is impossible. There is no love. There is nothing like love. We've had all those ideas and we've had all those things. About 2 weeks ago, Beatrice and I were speaking to young people in UCU. We're talking about relationships. And a young lady, 3rd-year law student, said, with me, I grew up with a single mother. I'm now independent. I'm doing my own things. I'm not used to somebody telling me what to do. I don't really know if I can really submit to a man. I don't know if I can handle marriage. And moreover, yesterday somebody put me in a WhatsApp platform for people who fear marriage. And then after that, a young man also said, with me, I'm not really sure that I want marriage, because You can make your money, you can make you build your houses and so on. You marry someone, then when you divorce, they go away with half of what you have you have made. So marriage, I really fear marriage. Those are some of the sentiments that we picked up from our younger generation. But Beatrice and I are here to let you know that when you follow the right principles, and when you conduct relationships, and when you conduct marriage the way it was meant to be handled, you can actually have a heaven on earth. It is possible. It is not impossible, it is possible. And that's why we really bring this news to you, wonderful people, that yes, it's not easy, but it is possible. Okay, it's not easy to pass an examination, but people pass. It's not easy to give birth to a child, but women give birth to a child. So just because something is not easy doesn't mean it is impossible. It is very, very possible. And Beatrice and I are here as a testimony that it is actually workable. 40 years, we still love each other. We still care for each other. And we've been blessed with 2 adult children. Our children are both adults. Our daughter, who is a firstborn, is married. And we're the proud grandparents of 3 lovely grandchildren. And our son left home about 12 years ago. And so for the last 12 years, we've been living, the 2 of us, just reliving our honeymoon, which is continuing up now. And so really wonderful people, we are here to let you know that it is possible. All right, now talking about relationships versus purpose. I want to start by saying that, anything begins by preparing. Okay? Anything of value begins by preparing. And moreover, life is all about preparations, right? All of life. For example, the life we are living here is preparing us for the next world, right? So we are here in preparation. By the time you're in university, you've been preparing for all kinds of examinations and you've done them. And the principle in relationships is that you will attract the kind of person that you are. And if you don't prepare, then, like somebody said, then you're actually preparing to fail. So meaning that preparation is not a luxury, it's not something that, if you want, you can do it, but if you don't want, it is very, very essential, very, very essential for you to prepare yourself for a relationship if you're going to succeed. The reason why many people fail is because they don't prepare, they ignore. They just wake up one morning and get into relationships without preparing. And that's one of the biggest disasters that we are witnessing on campuses, among young people. Last month, when the final census results were published, a reporter from New Vision called me. He said, Mr. Langa, the census reports have been finalized. And it has been observed that more and more men are not getting married or are not married. And more ladies are not married. Can you tell us why? Well, I guess they know that this is something that I work on. We have been working on these issues of relationships, marriage, and so on. Almost as long as we have been married, we've been really working on these things. So we know, we have an idea why people are not married. And you see, a lot of the reason is people don't prepare. And they don't prepare. They don't even know what they're doing with. For example, we told you that we went for a holiday, 9-day holiday to Bangkok. We had to prepare to go to Bangkok. We didn't just wake up and go buy their ticket and go. No, we had to find out. First of all, look on the map. Where is it? So that then what is the weather there? We have to do research. What's the weather? What is the voltage there? What is life like? What currency do they use? You know, what kind of country is it? I mean, all those things we had to find out before we took the plane to go to Bangkok. Now, a lot of people just wake up one morning and start relationship. They have no idea what is needed, what is advisable, what's not advisable, and so on. They just see everybody is doing it, or they've seen in the movies, or they've seen on videos, and what have you, or the hormones are working, and they just follow the hormones, and in the excitement of the hormones, they go and make a shipwreck of their relationship, of their lives. So I applaud those of you who are here. It means you really want to know how to succeed in this area. And Beatrice and I are going to really help you prepare, because we prepared, and here we are 40 years later, still going strong. Henry Ford said, before everything else, getting ready is the secret of success. And then Alexander Graham also said a similar thing. He said, before anything else, preparation is the key to success. Alexander Graham was one who discovered the telephone. Now, this preparation is going to require time, it's going to require commitment, and it's going to require seriousness. Okay? And this is not based on feelings, you feel good, to do it, to prepare. No, this is about doing the right thing. It's like building a house. That when you're going to build a house, you must work on the foundation. So this preparation is part of the foundation, which will help you to really start your marriage, have a good relationship, which is going to be needed in order for you to have a good marriage. All right, so we go back to the principle that in relationships, you will attract the kind of person that you are. That's why it is said that birds of the same feathers flock together. I've also been heard of a crab catches a crab. So, meaning that the biggest issue on relationship is, are you Mr. Right? Are you Miss Right? And so the issue about relationships is for you to be Mr. Right and to be Miss Right. If you can be Mr. Right, then you are good to go. If you can be Miss Right, you are good to go. You see, when you're looking for a partner, you are pointing with one finger, but 3 fingers are pointing back at you. Okay? 3 fingers are pointing back. I asking, you are looking for Miss Right, but are you Mr. Right? Okay? Or you are looking for Miss, vice versa. Are you the right one? And so the first phase of my presentation is to just help you to be Mr. Right and to be Miss Right. So that once that is settled, then now we can talk about how to conduct a relationship. So, all right. Now, in preparing for a lasting relationship, you need to have a healthy and growing personal relationship with your maker. Now, I'm not going to dwell so much on this, but you are intelligent people, you are university people and beyond. You would know what it is to have a good relationship with your maker. And if you don't, I believe we all can find where you can get that, where you can be helped in that area. But I just want to put it here that it is very, very essential and very, very important. Actually, Somebody said, and I've heard this many times, that the key to being a better spouse, the key to being a better parent, the key to being a better person is to be a more godly person. Right? So just put that at the back of your mind somewhere. And that's the first point that I would say would be part of your preparation. Number two, develop your values, morals, and character, and develop your personal integrity. Okay? We call it VMC. In the bank, we call it VMC. That prepare your VMC, build your VMC. All right? There's a young lady and a gentleman who came to me many, many years ago for counseling. And so in my heart, when they came for counseling, I was excited and thought, oh, here's another couple. I'm going to prepare, or I've come to be prepared for marriage. This was around September, and they were to get married in November of that year. So when we sat down, they told me, oh, we've come for counseling to separate. I said, what? Separate? Why? So their story goes like this. The young lady had lied to the gentleman over an issue. So later he came to find out the truth. So he organized, took her for dinner, out for dinner, and asked her about the issue. Then again, she lied to him. So when she lied to him, he just said, now I'm sorry. We cannot continue. So that's why they were in front of me. So the young lady at that time said, but I've asked him to forgive me. And he said, oh, forgiving, I've forgiven you. That's no problem, I've forgiven you. The problem is that I don't trust you anymore. And I'm sorry to say that was the end of that relationship. What was the issue? Lack of integrity, lack of values. She was not truthful. You cannot build a lasting relationship on lies. You cannot. Soon those lies will come to the surface and your boat is going to collapse. That young man got another young lady. He's married now. And I've even talked to his children in one of the youth conferences that I've talked. I remember him. And that young lady is now a single mother. Single mother somewhere. So you can see she missed marriage, missed a good man because of lack of VMC. So develop right now while you're still single. Start developing your VMC. Start developing your character. If you're somebody who lies, begin to say the truth. If you're somebody who has no integrity, begin to be a person of integrity. Now practice it while you're still on campus. Begin practicing. Because what keeps a marriage is not the beauty, is not the money, is not whatever. You can have all the beauty in the world. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the houses in the world. You'll be very miserable. And your marriage can fail. It's values that keeps marriage. It's not the physical appearance, the beauty and the what have you and the figure and all that. Good as those things are, they cannot sustain a marriage. Sex cannot sustain a marriage. Cannot sustain a relationship. Takes far, far, far more things than sex. Far, 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 far greater things. And those are things that we need to work on. And university time is the best time to work on this thing. Because when you go in the real world is so fast. You will not have the time to develop those values. You're looking for a job, you're looking for this. children are coming, now you have children, you're looking for rent, you'll be too busy to build your VMCs. That's why it's better to do it on campus while you still have the time, while you still have the time to reflect, to research. So this is the best strategy. Thirdly, have a vision, a goal in life, and attain the maximum academic and professional qualifications that you can. Because all the things that you go through before help you. For example, me, I went to Nairobi University. Beatrice went to Boston University in the US. Now, imagine all the exposure that I had and all the exposure that she had. When we met, when we got together in our marriage, all those things come and they really enrich our experience, our marriage experience, our relationship experience, are enriched by the exposure that each of us has had. So whatever you're going through, whatever is preparing you, it's not a waste of time. So go through whatever you're going through. Don't just sail through that learning phase. Learn as you go. Make contact. Learn new things, new skills, new situations, new ways of doing things. All those will enrich your relationship later. Fourthly, learn obedience to those who have authority over you. Why is that important? That will build in you the ability to do what is expected of you, even if you don't feel like doing it. That is a very, very important ability or skill that one needs to have in a relationship. Because there are times in a relationship when you'll be required to do something, even if you don't feel like doing it. Now, if you're the kind of person who only does what they want to do and you don't do what is required of you, you're going to fail in relationships. That's why when they tell you, bring the homework Friday evening, hand it in. Make an effort and hand it in time. Even if you don't feel like doing it, even if you feel you should just go and club, and yet you're supposed to do something. Brace yourself, force yourself to take it at the right time, even if you don't feel like doing it. That will prepare you for relationships. Fifthly, socialize with members of the opposite sex without strings, as brother, sister. In others, don't single out somebody prematurely. No. As a young lady, have many young men as friends as possible. And as a young man, have many young ladies as friends. Rather than singling out one, have as many as possible. All that is preparation. Then get correct information on love, relationship, marriage, and sexuality, as you're doing now. So I really commend you guys who are here. You're doing the right thing. Keep it up. Then 7, learn communication skills. Okay? You need to remember that verbal communication is only 7% of the communication. Tone is 38%. Then body language is 55%. That's why the saying is true that actions speak louder than words. So you can say a lot, but you're not communicating, or you're not communicating the right message. So again, as young people who are in university and all that, read more about this. Learn this communication, because you're going to need it in your marriage, in your parenting, in your work as an adult. You're going to need it. So practice. 8, learn self-control. All right, how to handle your emotions. You feel very, very attracted to somebody. Not every attraction is love. No. There are many times you'll be attracted and it is not love, it's just lust, or it is just infatuation. Okay? So learn how to control those crushes, those moments when you feel very attracted to somebody. You look at this body and you drool over that body. Yeah, learn self-control. because this self-control is a skill you're going to need not only before you're married, but even long after you're married. Even us as married men and women, we need self-control. This is a life skill that you need for the rest of your life. So build it, learn it, then know yourself, okay? Know yourself. Deal with your own baggage from the past and accept yourself, all right? Accept yourself. This is very, very important, because if you don't accept yourself, if you don't know yourself, you're going to have very serious problems in relationships. Then have a good relationship with your parents or guardians. And if your relationship is not good, then do your part to reconcile. At least do what you need to do from your perspective so that you reconcile. So that as much as is within you, you have actually done what you need to do. All right, then, number 11, keep good hygienic standards. Very, very essential. There's a saying that cleanliness is next to godliness. All right, it's very, very essential. It's very much needed. You shouldn't ignore it. Many young people ignore it, and yet that is really, really not good at all. And then number 12, be sexually pure. And we shall talk more about that tomorrow. Your sexual purity, both in the body and mind, is going to be very, very essential. Then, finally, on preparation, pray for your future partner. All right? I know you pray about examinations and about this or the other. Yeah, also pray about your future partner. It's important. It's important. So that's what I can say about that. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to quickly now just share a few points on conducting a relationship. Okay. Conducting or now moving forward beyond the preparation. Now the preparation is done. Now I'm moving towards conducting a relationship. Let me say a few words about this, a few points. Number one, be together for the right reasons, i.e., have a common purpose. What I'm sharing with you here at this particular point is based on something that our daughter, when she was earlier on in her marriage, they lived in Malawi with her husband. And I remember that time she sent me a message, "Daddy, this is a must read, a must read." So it was an email that she sent of a program that a gentleman who had just gotten married was engaged in. This guy was engaged, he was in social media, and so he had just got married, and he had seen that a lot of his friends' marriages were failing, divorces were taking place, and so on. But he wanted his marriage to work. So he inquired that what can we do to make our marriage work? And so what he did was he since he was in social media, he sent out a questionnaire globally. And he said that the qualifications were two. One, you must be at least 10 years happily married. Then secondly, you must have been divorced, and there's a big lesson that you learned from that divorce, which you want us not to miss. So he sent. He got over 1,500 responses. And so it took 2 weeks to amalgamate them and put them into 13 points. And the biggest shock that he got first was to realize that actually, in order to have a happy marriage, there are universal principles that govern it. Okay? They're universal principles. In other words, it doesn't matter whether you're white or black. It doesn't matter what religion you're in. It doesn't matter what economic status you have. It doesn't matter, I mean, what religion. It doesn't matter what race, what continent you live in. The same principles that make a marriage work in one part of the world is what to make marriage work in another part of the world. And so he put the things in order. And the first one was this one, that what the most important thing that made people succeed in marriage and relationships was common purpose. Not the beauty, not the handsomeness, not the whatever, but common purpose. Being together for the right reasons. If you're just together just because you're attracted to each other, that is very shallow. In fact, excuse me, as I've done a lot of research in this field, I remember reading somewhere that research was done, and people who end up divorcing were people who are once madly in love. You know, madly, you put in inverted commas. They were once madly in love, and the ones going for divorce. And those who continue marriage and relationships and are happy there and so on, are those who make solid, good decisions. Okay? Good, solid decisions. Not just out of emotions. Those are the ones who end up the divorce. So the issue is to be together for the right reason. I have common purpose. Here's the issue, ladies and gentlemen. For you to know who the right Mr. Right is for you and Miss Right is for you, you must be people who flow together. You flow together. There's something that draws you together, and you two have a common purpose and a common vision. Okay? Now, this is where the purpose comes in. Relationship versus purpose. Purpose is key. Purpose is key. Purpose is key, because marriage is actually two people who are meant for each other, who have a divine purpose to accomplish in this world. Okay? A divine purpose to accomplish in this world. And that's why you can say, do I flow with this man? Do I flow with this woman? Are we flow? Are we on the same page? This is very key. It is not who is most handsome. It's not who is most beautiful. It's not who is whatever, who has more money, who has more degrees, who is from which tribe. Common purpose. Very, very important, common purpose. Secondly, have realistic expectations about relationships and romance. There was a time a group of married men met with some young men who are not married. So we listen to them. Why are you not yet married? We listen. Guess what? All the reasons we had this were not yet married were all fake. What do I mean by fake? These young people were expecting to fall in love the way you see it in the movies. You know, when the stars are trickling and the eyes, stars are coming from the eyes, and you fall in love, first time, and the way it is in the movie. We told these guys, look, you get those things in the movies, those things are fake. Those things are not true. So for you waiting to fall in love like that, oh my gosh. Those things are actually, they are not real. So these young people are waiting to fall in love with age. He's in a movie, the way he's on social media. Oh, what a sad thing. These are people who should have been married a long time ago. But now there they were waiting. The expectations for a romantic is out of this world, is not real. It's not real. So if you have the wrong perspective or wrong expectation, especially, and you go for what you see in the media, yet the people who are doing those things are just, for them, they just want more viewership or more money or whatever. A lot of those things are not real. So don't go by those expectations. Thirdly, the most perfect in a relationship is not communication, but respect. Respect for each other. Okay, communication has its part, obviously, you can. But really, you need to respect. Yeah? Respect for one another. And this is not the respect where a wife respect your husband. That is that has its part. But mutual respect. Even as a husband, you need to respect your wife. Because she's a human being made in God's image. Fourthly, talk open about everything, especially the stuff that hurts. Some of those things that are a bit difficult to talk about, you will eventually need to talk about it. If you keep avoiding it, you're going to meet it one day. It's going to explode on your face one day ahead. Better you know about it now than it is hidden, and explodes later. Fifthly, a healthy relationship means two healthy individuals. Yes. Each of you needs to reach a point as a person, as an individual who is stable. Okay? An individual who is stable enough to be able to give to the other person. Not an individual who is needy. I need this relationship. I need this man. I need this woman. If you are in a and you're just needy, you need the relationship. You are still immature. You're not yet ready. You're not yet ready. Because a person who's ready for a relationship and who's going to succeed is a person who has grown up, is mature, is stable, and is ready to give. Okay? Ready to give. Can stand on their own as a man, as a woman, stand on their own, and is now ready to give. Has now the ability to give someone from what they have. That is what we call a healthy individual. Rather than someone who needs a relationship, they need this relationship. If somebody needs this relationship, that person is not ready. And you run away from somebody who needs you, that one is immature, is not ready, and it's going to be a liability when you enter a relationship. So that's why personal growth, and that's the preparation we are talking about. Okay? You stand on your own as a man, you stand on your own as a woman, and now you're ready to give to the other person. That's the person who's going to make a good relationship. Then give each other space. There's time for individuality in a relationship. It's not that you smother the person, and you cover them, you suffocate them. That's not healthy. It's not healthy. In a good, healthy relationship, there's space for each person to be who they are. So that needs to be, and you see, that's why you need to be mature and healthy as a person. Because if you're not healthy, then you're going to really cover the other person and you are going to suffocate them, and they will reject you. They will reject you because nobody wants to be completely covered up where you can't breathe. And I'm using that figuratively. Okay, so a healthy relationship is somebody who is where the two people can have, can give each other space to be. Right, quickly, you and your partner will grow and change in unexpected ways. Yes, embrace it. In other words, yes, embrace each other, accept each other. Okay, accept each other. And as we grow, yeah, things may change here and there, but you need to embrace one another. When those changes come, embrace it. For example, as a young man, that young lady, who you first started with, okay, then let that young lady have 1 or 2 children. She's going to change physically even. She's going to change. All right? So embrace that change. Don't think, now she has changed now. She has more weight and all that. Those things are going to come. Even you yourself. Okay, now you're a thin young man. Hey, get married and that lady begins to give you some good food. Within 5 years, if you don't take care of yourself, well, your stomach is going to be this way and, So those changes can't explode, but embrace them. Get good at resolving conflict. Yes. All right. Conflict will come. And in fact, a happy relationship is not one which does not have conflict. No, but one where the people have learned how to resolve conflict. Then get good at forgiving. Yes. Because nobody is faultless. We all have faults, we all have strengths and weaknesses. And none of us is without fault. Okay? We all have strengths and we all have, even me, I have weaknesses. Okay? So Beatrice has had to accept me with my weakness. I accept her with her weaknesses. Because a happy marriage is not a marriage of 2 perfect people. No, but of 2 imperfect people who have accepted each other and who will forgive one another. 10, the little things that add up, to the big things. Yeah, there are things which may look small, but they do matter. So don't ignore small things. If your spouse or the other person is not happy about something, don't take it as minor. That's a small thing. To you, it may be a small thing, but to the person, if they raise concern about it, then don't ignore it. Then preserve sex for the right time of marriage. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. And I'll end with this one. Be practical and create relationship rules. Okay? Before you start a relationship, let each of you work out your rules. When I enter that relationship, what am I going to do? That's something that you need to think about long, long, long before. What am I going to do? And what am I not going to do? All those are things that you need to prepare yourself long, long before. So, as I conclude, yes, relationships, that's as purpose. Does the purpose matter? Yeah, purpose is going to help you a lot in your relationship. And yes, much as things are getting worse today and many people are failing in relationships, I believe that if a young person really determines to get the truth, the way you people are getting now, you can actually prepare yourself and you can actually succeed in relating and have a relationship that will actually lead to a good marriage. So that's what I'll say for now. I will I'll give back the meeting to the moderator and wait for the questions. Thank you, and let me remove my presentation.
Wow, Such a wonderful presentation right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hear you, or let me see you give rounds of applause to Engineer Stephen Langa. But you can show your emojis, clap, thumbs up, flowers. Let's give him all that in appreciation. Yes, yes. Thank you so, so much. It's so amazing, so amazing. And, hearing all these things coming out very clearly and in a realistic way, sometimes we relationships attend, just like you said it, they tend to be so figurative, and we refer that to from the movies that we have watched and the soaps, and they tend to be something so fascinating, but coming to reality, my friends, I think what Ingia Stephen Langa has shared is what is on the plate, over to the questions in these very few minutes left, even as we are going to close up. Yeah, thank you so much for all these hand claps and flowers and reactions. So before we close up, questions, you can type it straight in the chat section. You can shoot up your hand straight and then fire that question. Well, I see here, right? Simon already asks, can we get your presentation handouts? Thank you so much. God bless you. All right. The recording is going to be shared to all bank presidents, and I'm very sure they'll share it to you. Thank you so much. Questions, you can put up your hand and then you ask straight away. Friends, questions? I see. Let me read some of the questions here in the response link that some of you have already put up. We already had a question there. And do you have any question in regard to relationships versus purpose and the presentation? And some of you have already put their questions. Is dating at campus required? Now, some of the questions have already been answered in the course of presentation. Some of the questions here are, is dating at campus required? If yes, how do you get to the right person? How do we keep them? Okay, some of the questions I can see have been answered. I would wish to ask it myself. Someone said there, I would wish to ask it myself. If you're out there and you put that answer, please put up your hand and ask that question yourself. We will be waiting when you put up your hand. Okay, another one here says, how should I know that how can I know that the relationship I am in is purposeful or will be successful? Right? Engineer Stephen Langa will react to all this at once. Okay. Question here. Yes. At what stage do I determine that the relationship is going to be of purpose? And how can I determine such? Thanks. Okay. How do I determine that the relationship is going to be of purpose? And how can I determine such? And then another person right here also asks and says, is relationship essential, especially here at campus? Oh, okay. That's almost the second person that asks a similar question. Is relationship essential, especially here at campus? In all these questions, Engineer Stephen Langa will be responding to them all at once, and some of them are just similar. Then the question here also goes, how do I know the right person? How do you know the right person for you? Okay. 2, he also asks, how to deal. Oh, okay. No, these are topics. No, questions. How to deal with breakups and moving on. Okay. Then 3, he also put how to realize that someone is exploiting you and they don't like you. All right. They want clarity on those three. The first one was knowing the right person for you. The second one, how to deal with breakups and moving on. Then the third one, wanted clarity on how to realize that someone is exploiting you and they don't like you. All right. And someone just appreciating, thank you for the presentation. All right. For now, we're going to go with those ones. Thank you, friends, for tapping on that link and yes, asking those questions. Even here in the chat section, let me read them out and then they will be responded to. I have a question. How do you differentiate between love and lust? Fatuma asks, how do you differentiate between love and lust? Okay, in general, even that PDF, if shared, could be good for us for future use and purpose. All right, Daniel. And then your bank presidents will be having some of this information. Okay, Mugisha here, Karoko asks, my question is, how can we handle pressure from families and friends when they think a woman should be married between 20 and 25 years? When you are 24 and they see no dating, they pressure, yet you want to first focus on purpose. Huh. Okay, wonderful right there. And then some other question here from Ronald or Tim. My question is a bit out of this topic, but something I wish to really know someday. All right, let's read it. How many ladies should you date at a time if you are a man? And how many gents should you date at a time if you are a lady? Assuming dating and relationships are interrelated. Okay, right there. And then lastly, from Tumwesije, I request engineer to share examples of purposes a relationship should hold or up to. Thank you, Engineer Langa. Wow. We are populated with so many questions this evening, and I'm very sure this conversation is still going on even tomorrow at 8 p.m. Rally your friends. They should not miss out on this. Rally them. Tomorrow will be our last day. And even right about now, I'd like to hand over to Engineer BeatriceLanga and call him back to respond to some of these questions. Over to you, Engineer BeatriceLanga.
Thank you very much, Brian, for helping us to get the questions and to read them out. And thank you, wonderful people, for the responses that and the questions that you have asked. That actually shows that learning is taking place. Now, let me begin with the difference between love and lust. That one, I will give a clear demarcation on that tomorrow. So that one, let me not spend the time today. I'll deal with that one tomorrow. Then, is it essential to have a relationship on campus? And the way I can answer that is that it is not essential. I know that there is a lie on campus that you must get a relationship before you leave campus. And that if you leave campus before you have a relationship, you are most likely not going to have one. That is a big lie. And you see, that thinking has actually made many people enter into relationship that should never have actually started in the first place. And people have wrecked their lives and wrecked their future just because of that pressure. So that is not true. our daughter left campus. She was in Makerere, and she left campus without having a man. But a couple of years later, she got a man and is married. So that theory is not true. Not true. So what I want to do, and actually to really answer many, many questions that are related to that, in terms of how do you know this, how do you know that, I want to present to you what I'll call a checklist. I want to present to you for a checklist before you can start a relationship. In other words, that checklist is going to help you to know whether you're actually ready to start a relationship or not. So that now the ball is on your court to really know whether you are ready or not ready or when. Okay, let me put that up. I'm calling it checklist before starting a relationship. You know, when a pilot is going to take off with the plane, there's a checklist that they are trained to go through. For example, do you have enough fuel? Okay. Is the weather good? Are the brakes working? Are the engines working? You know, all of those things. So the pilot is trained to check all those things on the list. And then when everything is clear, then they take off. If there's a problem with anything, they shouldn't take off. So what I'm going to give you here are questions to you, which if the answer to them are all yes, then you're ready to start a relationship. And the first one is a simple one. Are you physically mature? I'll let you answer that. Number two, are you emotionally mature? And it has A and B. To measure that maturity, A, are you able to delay a physical gratification until a later time? Now, the way you understand this, or the way you know whether somebody is emotionally mature, is to think of children. When you have a 2-year-old child, two of them, and then there's one toy around, the two children are going to start fighting for it. Then you come and tell them, okay, all right, guys, let one of you take it for 1 minute, and then you allow the other one to also take it for a minute. What do you think is going to happen? They will not agree. They all want it now. They all want it now. Now, that is a sign of immaturity. If you cannot delay to have something until a later time, then you're still immature, and you actually need to have an adult to exercise authority over you, because you don't have the capacity to control yourself. You don't have the capacity to control your emotions. Then you're a very dangerous person. You need to have somebody to actually be the one to have authority over you. So that's one sign of immaturity or maturity. The fact that you cannot delay a physical gratification until this time. B, do you have the emotional muscles to back up your actions? There's a time I was talking with some S2s, and they wanted boys and they wanted to fool around with girls. So I told them, okay, guys, if you're allowed to fool around with girls and they become pregnant, what is going to happen? And they made a sign that they would run away. Then I asked them, now, if I fool around with my wife and she becomes pregnant, can I handle it? They said yes. I said, okay, that's the difference. I can take action and the consequences of my action I can handle. That's maturity. But you take action and the consequences of your action you can't handle, then you are mature. So you have no business on relationships. Leave relationships alone. You're still immature. You're still young, because relationship is not for children. It is for adults. Question number 3, well, question number 3 for still emotional maturity. Are you a stable single person who is ready to give rather than be dependent on the other person? Remember, I already mentioned it before. You see, because if you are the kind of person, single person who is needed, you need the relationship in order to survive, then you are still immature. You are not yet mature enough to be able to reach a point where you are the one ready to give. But this, I'm not meaning giving financially, no, but emotionally and, as a stable person, especially emotionally, not financially. All right, number 3, you have a vision or a goal in life. Somebody said, I saw one of the questions that, I thought that money, and I didn't hear you talk about money. Money is not the most important thing. Money has a place. But if you base your relationship on money, I mean, when we started our relationship with my wife, I hardly had money. Really, I hardly had money. But we started our relationship. And she didn't ask for money, which was really good. Because for us, we knew money is not the issue. Yeah, money has its place and so on, but it's not the issue. It's not the main thing which should be there and then now you talk money. No. But do you have a goal? Do you have a vision in life? Is there a career in view? Yeah. If there is a career in view, if you know where you're going, if you have a goal, you have a vision, then that is fine. That is fine. And my wife usually tells, you guys have really missed her voice. My wife tells ladies, don't miss a good man just because right now he looks poor, he doesn't have good clothes, he doesn't have whatever. You don't know what that guy is going to be in 5 years' time. You know what that guy is in 10 years' time. You're judging us for now, but you have no idea the potential of that young man. So, but the important thing is that at least have a goal or a vision or a career in the making, even if you may not completely be there, but in the making. All right. That's something, because it is important. And this also will help you to have the ability to focus on something, because when you have a goal and a vision, then you're able to focus on something. And so you'll be able to focus on this relationship. Fourthly, have you counted the cost? And this cost is not financial, but time, emotions. Okay? Because it's going to take a good chunk of your attention, and especially emotion. So have you counted the cost? Are you ready? Are you genuinely able to invest at this time? For me, by the way, when I was at university, I was doing electrical engineering, Nairobi University. And I knew that my course was really, really tough. And I did not have the time to actually invest in a relationship. I knew that. So I did not try to have a relationship when I knew very well I'm not going to. Okay? I shouldn't cheat myself, shouldn't cheat somebody. I will start a relationship when I'm not going to put in my course is so busy. And it was after I finished that I got into a relationship. Fifthly, very, very important, is marriage in youth. In other words, when you start a relationship, is there a chance that it could lead to marriage? If there's a chance that it could lead to marriage, fine, go ahead. But if there's no chance that this could ever lead to marriage, then please don't waste your time. Don't waste the other person's time. Don't waste your emotions. Don't start a relationship. In other words, you should only start a relationship when you are heading with the destination of marriage. Or, yeah, there's that. And of course, you may not know, because in the middle there, you may find that maybe you're not compatible, and that is fine. But at least you start out with the intention that this could lead to marriage. That is fine. But if you just start for the sake of it, oh, I'm lonely this weekend, or everybody else is also having a relationship, everybody is doing it, those are no good reasons. Those are no good reasons for you to actually start. Marriage should be the thing that you are looking for, or your habits, or there's a chance that it could lead towards marriage. That's something you can go ahead. But if it is not, there's no opportunity, there's no chance, there's no way this thing could ever end in a marriage, please don't waste your time. Number 6, and this is very, very important. Have you prayerfully set the standard you follow when you be in a relationship long before that relationship starts? Let me say that again. Have you prayerfully set the standards that you follow when you be in a relationship long before that relationship starts? That's very, very, very important. Many young people don't think about this. They just wait for a relationship to start and they start. They've not thought through what they will do, what they will not do, what their standard is going to be, what their standard is not going to be, what they can allow, what they won't allow. Those are very, very important things that we need to think about before. So I've found people who have succeeded relating well. A lot of them usually have thought about this matter before. And then 7, have you prayed about it? And for those who have a relationship with their maker, have you got the approval of the maker to start the relationship? So those are things that I would really say will actually have answered a lot of the questions. Now, about how do you know if somebody is cheating you, is exploiting you, and things like that. Time will tell. If somebody is not sincere, time will tell. And that's why you need to give time, you need to give the relationship time. And also, that's why it is important that you hold on to sex until the right time. Because when you engage into sex prematurely, one of the disadvantages is that it is going to blur your decision. You are not going to be objective anymore. Okay? You won't be objective because you have already compromised yourself. And now your judgment and your decision making is all blurred. It's all blurred. Or is already compromised. And so it's going to be very, very difficult to make informed and objective decisions. So I think we have answered most of them. Then pressure from relatives. Now you need to know that it's not relatives who should determine when you should start a relationship. You need to know who you are, to determine yourself, having known your purpose. You then need to know when the right time is for you to start a relationship, especially in light of the checklist I've just given you now. Okay? The other person doesn't know what you want. I mean, your relatives may not know what you want. They may just see you that you should be married at this stage or at that stage. It's your life, and you know better. You should know better. You should know better, so that you should know whether really is this the right time for me to be in a relationship. So yeah, people will talk, and you have no control over what they say or what pressure they'll put you under. That's okay. Yeah, let them say what they say, but you know yourself and you know where you're going. You just know and follow what you know is right. What you know is right. Okay? Even if they put you under pressure, but you just know yourself that if you are ready or not, so that you use your own yardstick and your own timetable. Because they are not going to be the ones who are going to live with your husband or with your wife. They are not going to be the ones. It is you. And you know yourself better, so you should know your time, especially using the computers that I've given you. I think I've answered all the questions, so I'll hand over back to you, Brian. Yeah, so over to you.
Thank you so much for those questions. Once again, thank Stephen Langa. Let's give him those emojis once again. Very, very elaborative. Very, very elaborative. That checklist. If you didn't take a screenshot, I don't know. Checklist. So if you read about now, very good things, and how and this is how we are coming and this day, and I'm going to invite Madam Anita Malinga to close us with a parting shot, and then to communicate more about the program bang in January, and then also a reminder that tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'll be back here the last part, the sugar cane. The last part of the sugar cane is the sweetest. Tomorrow, plug in at 8 p.m. I'm very certain I'll be sorted with the technicalities. I'm very sorry that we interrupt our tuning in. But tomorrow, invite friends. I imagine how this wonderful. Thank you so much, Engineer Stephen Langa, for such a presentation to us. And for those that are tomorrow is still a day. Those who were asking, love and last. Tomorrow we'll be continuing there. Revise the few pictures that you have taken and invite friends. Invite those that you think equally are in love. Like right about now, Anita to parting shots. Madam Anita. Okay. You could be away. Right.
Can somebody mute the Lucy? Can you please mute your microphone?
Yeah, she muted. Right there. Madam Anita, could you hear me now? Okay, she could be away. Agnes Sivilanga, would you have any parting shots for us tonight?
Yes. I've just seen another question that how many people should you date at once? Now, yes. Well, really, yes. I want to say that anybody who dates more than one person is really, really not sincere. And there you are just, that is really a lack of values, morals, and character. Because this is not a game. And dating is not a game. And you know, people are taking this thing very, very lightly. And people are making a shipwreck of their lives. People are destroying the lives of their colleagues. People are using each other as experiments. And all those are very, very, very unfortunate. And all those are things that are leading to the negative statistics that we keep reading about. Sincerely, if you're really genuine, you should only date one person. And if for any reason, because it doesn't mean that when you start dating, it must end in a marriage. No, dating is actually a time for relationship, and maybe I'll talk more about that tomorrow. It's a time of finding out whether we are really compatible enough to go for the long haul. Okay, that's what dating is all about. So for that reason, you know, just dating so many people is really not serious. So you date one person, and if it doesn't work out, then you leave that, you first heal properly before you engage on another one. Then after you have healed, you then can go on another one and try if this time you get the whole thing right. That's what I can say about that one. Otherwise, thank you very much for the opportunity, and over to you, Brian.
Thank you so much, Papa. Such wonderful insights, friends. And I hope deep down in our hearts, we have been answered, even from the questions. Thank you, friends who have asked all those questions. There have been learning moments for each and every one that has been part of the call. Thank you so much. Even right now, we come to the end of such a wonderful talk. Until tomorrow, the same time, as we wind it up and close it up. And I will ask one of our friends here on the call to give the closing prayer, and then we can call it a day. Let me call back Alan, the online president, Bank, to give us a closing prayer, and then we can say goodnight. Alan. Is Alan there? Okay, Alan could be off. Let me have Remigio. Remigio from Makerere. Please go for it, representing the bank president, Makerere. Remigio. You can open your mic and then give us a closing prayer. Kumisiriza. Yes.
Thank you very much. From Mateo, from Tawai. I hope you're hearing me.
Yes, we are hearing you.
Oh, somebody says,
Just
Almighty.
speak up. Speak up.
Beg your pardon?
Just speak up a little bit.
Oh, you're not hearing me?
We can hear you. Speak a little louder.
Thank you for the gift of love, gift of life. We thank you that you have enabled us come together here We thank you for our facilitators, the organizers, and to us that have attended, God. We pray that what we have learned should be applicable into our lives and should be used to transform our lives in the way that we deserve it, O Lord Jesus Christ. We thank you that we have got these mentors that always guide us through our lives of the youth. And we pray that we should always be by them and always follow their words as you guide them. Protect us through this night and enable us connect tomorrow in another session. Make this prayer through Christ our Lord.
Amen. 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 Thank you so much. And friends, have a blessed night. See you tomorrow. Join in with the whole of your faculties, the whole of your friends and contacts on your phone. Invite them tomorrow for that last bit of our workshop. Relationships versus purpose continues. Have a good night.
Good night. Good night, good night, good night. Wonderful people.